Hello. It's Sunday, but it's Sunday evening now. The match is on. Liverpool have just scored. It's 1-0. Yes, come on, Salah. Cheers, Rusty, for dropping him from the fantasy football team so that he can now score again. No, you know what I mean. So this is my latest beer. This is the Citra and Galaxy Vacant Gesture. The ESB still on, still going strong, and tasting bloody lovely now. But yeah, this just went on today. Citra. I haven't tasted it yet. This is the very first tasting of it, to be honest. Nice little cap on it. Force carved, 30 psi for 2.5 minutes. Yeah, there we go. Let's have a taste. Ooh. Yeah, that's a little bit different. Yeah. Now, this is using SO4 rather than USO5 because I was using a yeast cake from the ESB. So I don't jumped from dark to pale, but I'd say the ESB is quite pale in itself. It's not as pale as this. I mean, if this was clear and compared to an SB, I suppose an ESB would be darker. But it's marginal, I think. I really do. Anyway, so this is from an SO4 yeast cake. Now, I've had real good... what's the word for it? Attenuation, that's the word. I've had real good attenuation with that SO4. Normally, I find it gets stuck at about 1.020, and you have to really ramp the temperature a bit now and then, and to get it going, and maybe give it a stir and stuff. I haven't had any issue with this. This has dropped right down to 1.008, and must have done it in a couple of days because I came to do the first dry hop, and there was nothing. It was just bubbling on the top. You see all the little bubbles on the top, and that was about it. It was a bit worrying when you're trying to add a dry hop, I know, for oxygen issues, but it was still going. The 5-day was more problematic, I think, as an issue. So this may oxidise quicker than usual, which is a bit of a shame, because there's a touch of dankness to this. That Citra one was quite bright, quite vibrant and bright in its citrus flavours with a sort of high light profile. This has a touch of dank. Gotta love a bit of dank. I'm guessing that's coming from the Galaxy. I've not had... I think this is this the new batch of Galaxy I have, or an old batch? I can't remember really. I can't remember which one I used. But it's a nice flavour. I miss dank beers. I really do. Mosaic. Early Mosaic ones I was having 5-6 years ago. Oh, I was getting dankness to the nth degree. I may as well have been in Snoop's basement with him. It was that dank. This, look, just a touch. So it has a low sort of, if I was going to call it musically, I'd say it's got a nice low bass note with a little touch of treble running over, little harmonic treble running over the top from the Citra. I suppose that's how I can talk about beer, I suppose, because, yeah. And the middle note comes from the malt. So, yeah, it's nice, it's very nice. Certainly for the first pint, or glass. Yeah, so that is the new beer on, and that is probably the last beer I'll be able to do for maybe a week or two. This coming Friday, I'm moving out. The missus and the kids are moving out on the Thursday, but I'll be moving out on the Friday because we've got a total rewire. Other than the kitchen. Kitchen's completely separate panel, but the rest of the house needs rewiring and will be done. And me starting Friday, so we are moving to the in-laws for a couple of weeks, which should be interesting. don't know how sober I'll be there. So I probably won't be able to do one of these videos for a couple of weeks. We'll see if I end up over here on next Sunday or whatever. I'm just going for a walk kind of thing, and end up here. I don't know. I'm hoping, and the reason I say I don't know if I'll be able to brew or not is I'm hoping they'll be able to keep the kitchen circuit, because it's a completely different circuit unless they're taking out the whole house. So if they leave that, because it's on a different board, and leave that completely, that board doesn't need touching, because all the whole kitchen was done separately because we had the kitchen done, blah blah blah. If you watch, you know. So the kitchen done, so that will be, I'm hoping, left alone with power, because the fridge and the freezer still have food in, and my hot freezer is absolutely rammed to the point, and I'll probably show you this, because I got the second part of my hop delivery. The second part of my malt mill delivery. I mentioned last Sunday I had a malt miller delivery, and I was expecting 3 boxes. I got 2, and all the hops and yeast were still at the depot over the weekend and arriving on the Monday instead of the Friday, unlike 2 sacks of malt. So this is pretty much what I got. This is my hop freezer, and it's just kind of rammed at the minute with hops. So what did I get there? These are for upcoming brews, including the Harvest Pale Ale. Yep, I am doing that. I've got the stuff, so when I can brew, I will brew that. Is the next brew. So I've got 200 grams of Bramley Cross. These are 100 gram packs, obviously, like you get T90 pellets, 100 grams from Malt Miller. So 2 Bramley Cross, 1 Cascade, 2 Challenger, 2 East Kent Goldings, 2 Fuggles, 1 Magnum, 1 Tettnang, 1 Willamette. Yeah, that's on top of all the hops that I already have, which are Equinaut, Sabro, Idaho 7, Citra, Galaxy. I've got some SARS. I've got tons, loads. I've got plenty of hops to keep me going for a while. I got some yeast. I got 1 Lallemand Colin Kolsch dry yeast, 1 Lallemand Windsor British Style Ale yeast, 2 Mangrove Jack's Californian Lager yeast, and 2 Safal SO4s. I've never used the Windsor Lallemand or the Lallemand Kolsch, and I've never used Mangrove Jack's for anything. The California Lager yeast I'm going to be using to do, steam beer, green beer, that kind of thing, over the winter. There we go. That's what I've got those for. Also, as part of that order, I got some of these. Got a few of these. So these go up me pipe as you want. Keep it cleaner, with an end to stop it dripping so much into my drip tray. So we'll put that back in. So there we are. I got some extra malts as well. I suppose I'll tell you them. I've told you everything else. So I got the Crisp Pale Wheat Malt, a 5 kilo bag of that. I went with the pale wheat. I wanted white wheat, because I want to do an IPA, and I just thought white wheat might be good, but the best I could get was pale at the time, so I went with that. My lager malt 25 kilo sack, that's the Simpsons Finest Lager Malt. Same with the Marisotta. I went with the Finest Pale Marisotta. So I can, it's kind of, I feel it can be interchangeable, because obviously there's the thing about doing NEPAs and then doing bitters. So you want a Marisotta to do your bitters ish, and maybe a Golden Promise to do your NEPAs and that, and I want to be able to do both, so I kind of compromised there and went with Pale Maris. We'll see. I got a kilo of Crystal Wheat Malt, Thomas Fawcett, and that's for the Harvest Pale. And Warminster Floor Malted Vienna, that's also for the pale. I got 5 kilos of that. So yeah, that was my malt miller order pretty much altogether. Let me pause this a minute. Sorry, just got notified. There's an extra 6 minutes, though no goals, which is good. Anything else happened? Well, yes, actually. So my son Thomas, diabetic now, with type 1, but he also had another issue, and let me try and think if I can get this right. He has premolar demineralization of his teeth, which means that his molars just crumble. Basically, they've been crumbling and decaying. There isn't enough calcium and calcium. What's the bloody stuff? Enamel there, and they've just been destroyed and crumbled. Nothing to do with diet again, same as the type 1 diabetes. Nothing to do with diet and what he's been eating and drinking, because he does brush his teeth and that. But another issue he's had, which meant he had to go into hospital on Wednesday to have 6 teeth out. Eventually they ended up taking 7. So he went to hospital because, being type 1 diabetes, they wanted to monitor him because he's going to have general anaesthetic to have that many teeth out, and being only 6. So they wanted to monitor him, make sure that if need be, they could put saline or glucose, etc., into him somehow or whatever, just to monitor him, etc. So he went in on Wednesday evening. Now, the plan initially was for me to go with him and stay over, because one parent can sleep over, stay there with the child and sleep on the ward. That was going to be me. I was going to drive over with him, do the overnight thing, and then him have his operation, and then me driving back, because he was at York, which is about 50-60 miles away on me from here. But then the missus decided that she wanted to be the one on the ward, and it would be more sensible if the next day driving back, because on a ward, you know what it's like, or you might not, but they tend to wake you up nearly every hour, 2 hours, to just do checks on you. So as it turned out, this is what they did. They kept waking Laura up every hour on the hour to take blood samples to check that his blood sugars are right. I mean, normally he has his evening injection, which is a slow release of insulin, and that gets him through the night without any monitoring. But no, they wanted to monitor it every hour on the hour, so that she was getting woken up every hour. So she was like, she couldn't have driven. And he also said it was good to have another person in the car in the back with him to monitor him as the drive home, because that's, say, we're talking an hour and a half drive, and he's just had an operation and he's got no teeth and he's a bit groggy and such. Anyway, so we both went over, and I stayed in a B&B pretty much just across the road, as it turned out, and I was going to go watch the Liverpool game after the point where it was time for me to leave, before going back the next morning. So I was going to go watch the Liverpool match, and I got to the pub that was just down the road from where I was staying, and pretty much opposite the hospital, and I looked in and I just thought, I'm in York. So I went to House of the Trembling Madness, which, what a beer, what a place for beer that is. And I had their what the hell's it called? It's that Deya's long running man, something running man, isn't it? And I can't remember it off the top of my head, and I should do, because it's just a top quality beer. Anyway, I had that on cask at just under £5 a pint. Fantastic bargain. After that I went to, I think it's called Invicta. It's near the marketplace, and it's a real old bar, but it's 3 floors. Downstairs floors, there's all dried hops across the roof, across the ceiling, and they had some good top quality beer on tap there, so I had a few of them, and then grabbed myself a nice shawarma on the way home, a lamb shawarma, and that was good. The operation went well. Back to Thomas, his operation went well. back home now. I was the one that was shitting. I was the one that I was getting anaesthetic. I remember when I was about 11 or 12, I had to have 2 upper teeth, 2 lower teeth out and then the brace fitted. And I had gas, and oh man, I still remember that feeling. It was a horrific feeling, just like falling down a tunnel for hours. Yeah, so I was worried about who it was going to be, but no, they were fantastic, absolutely fantastic. The NHS, once again, all the nurses, the anaesthetists, the doctors, the dentist, everybody, just so many. They all took great care of him and us while we were there. Yeah, so that was what I did. Instead of watching the last football game, I was drinking beer in the House of Trembling Madness, mostly. And it was well worth it. It was absolutely quality beer. As is this, it seems. Not as good as those, but yeah, this is a nice beer. It's turning out to be. Yeah, I think I can taste a little touch of the oxidation though from doing the dry hop. I think I can, but it's only a touch. I might get away with it, or it might just be the hops initial. They don't smell as bright. It might just be that Galaxy. Anyway, that I think pretty much covers my week so far and my week going forward. I'm busy, fucking busy as usual. Fantasy football is not that good for me at the minute. It's sort of tight between the top, sort of the middle 10 to 20. It is so tight. Once you get into that top 10 and break through. I mean, 2 weeks ago, I was 6 points off top 10. And I think I was about 14th. I'm now down to 19th, or I was, until today. Oh, it's just started to fall. But I'm still about 40 points ahead of my eldest son. So that's a bonus. That's all I really care about. And I think, on that note, I shall finish this inside, finishing off our Sunday dinner cooking. I might catch the last minute or two of the game. So, thanks for watching. If you got this far, cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.